Welcome to the coolest stuff on the planet.
Hey guys, welcome back to the coolest stuff. As you know, I am Matthew, and this is Rachel.
Yes, I am Rachel. And you know what this is, so I'm not going to introduce it again. Let's just say it's cool.
Yes.
And there's a planet in there somewhere. We have no time for pleasantries today, Matt.
No.
Because we are heading right back into our second episode on Brussels.
So you remember the first episode, the one that you just listened to a second ago because you forgot to download it last week and you had to download it this week. I know how it is. It's okay. It's hard.
The one that made your ears sing with happiness.
Yes. It's
and
hard.
your eyes bulge out.
Yes. So we forgot to talk about a lot. We didn't forget. We chose not to talk about a lot of stuff.
We focused on food in the first one.
Yes.
So in this one, we thought we should focus on...
Yeah. Some of the more famous things, like the landmarks. For instance, this is the iconic Grand Place. Is that correct, Rachel?
Yes.
The Grand Place.
Very good.
It's the city's central square. It's full of crazy architecture. Wonderful, if you will, architecture. And some interesting things happen here.
As Matt mentioned, you will see some beautiful buildings here. Gothic and Baroque style buildings. For example, the very famous guild halls.
Yes.
And Matt's going to tell you a little bit about that.
So these buildings were constructed just centuries ago, but they had to be rebuilt after the city was bombarded by the French in 1695. They're elaborately Baroque, and they reflect the trades of all the guilds that were around all those centuries ago. Talking about beer guilds, bread makers who had a guild, even sprout growers. You know, the Brussels sprout growers? Oh!
Oh, you made that up.
I'm not so sure
There's
about that
no
one.
Brussels sprouts guild. I wish there were, though. Yeah, the cool thing about these two is that when they were rebuilt, the guild members, they sort of competed amongst themselves to make these buildings more and more elaborate. Mm-hmm. So you'll see a lot of gold, a lot of gilded surfaces.
So this big public square, which is where all of these are, the guild halls, it is the happening place to be. It's like, it's just where you go when big things occur in Brussels.
Mm-hmm. Like a lot of the squares we've talked about.
Exactly. We have a couple more that we're going to talk about in the future. But check it out. What happens there? Well, every other August, they lay out this massive carpet of begonias, and then they just sit on it. No, I'm joking. They don't sit.
They wipe their feet on it. No, it's actually really amazing. They take hundreds of thousands of flowers. They plan it out beforehand, like months beforehand, and then it's executed with extreme, not prejudice, but precision.
Yes.
and it looks kind of like, a carpet, really. If you would like to learn more about this, actually, we don't have time to talk about it too much more. But Amanda, one of our coolest stuff bloggers, did a post on it, and she did an excellent job. So if you want to learn more about the flower carpet in Brussels, do check that out.
Check out that blog all the time. It's very cool.
It really is.
Thanks, Amanda. Okay, so in addition to the architecture and the cool flower carpet, we've also got some, let's say, less than elegant statuary.
Perhaps irreverent is the word.
No, it's great. I love it. Specifically, the statue, you've seen it before, of the little boy having, let's say, having a wee. And this little peeing boy, he's kind of the city's mascot, and he's been that kind of mascot since about 1619.
For centuries. And he's a great little mascot, but it gets better because he's not just a little peeing boy statue. He has a wardrobe.
Oh, yes.
So for a long time, there's been a tradition of dressing up this little statue in outfits.
Yeah.
And so people from all around the world in all walks of life and all countries have sent outfits over the years for this little statue, and they dress him up on special occasions and holidays.
Now, and though he is the most famous urinating statue, he's not the only peeing statue in town. There's more game in town. There's a little girl who's lesser known who has a wee also.
So here's a fun and surprising fact about Brussels, which I was not aware of. It's a biker city. Mm-hmm. But I'm not talking about motorcyclists, not, dudes on
Harley
hogs.
Davidson.
No, I'm talking about bicycles. So it's very easy to rent a bike there and ride it throughout the city, and there's a large park system. So that's kind of neat.
Yes, it is. Another landmark you want to check out, it's called the Atomium, and it was built for the 1958 World Fair. It looks very cool.
It's like a space age looking
molecule.
It's awesome. there's so much more to Brussels than we've even mentioned in 2 podcasts. The city's full of museums and markets, shopping. It has an extensive cafe culture. It's really a neat city, and the more the more you read about it, the more that it sort of unfolds.
Exactly.
It's like an onion; it has layers.
It is.
I just went all Shrek there.
Yeah.
But there's way more about it, so please do feel free to check that out. And where can they learn more about Brussels and Belgium?
If you want to learn more about Brussels or Belgium in general, you can go to this fancy new Web 3.6 webpage called howstuffworks.com. It's a fancy webpage, and you can click on things. You can also scroll. It's incredible.
I'd also like to point out just real quick that we also have some articles on Brussels sprouts.
We do.
So.
Yes, the Brussels Sprouts Guild that does not exist.
Right, made up.
Also, guys, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, you want to tell us a story about the time you went to Brussels or the time that you ate Brussels sprouts and you vomited all over the place, send us an email.
Not.
I'm okay with that. You can send that.
Don't send it to me.
Oh, okay. You can send it to travelpodcast@howstuffworks.com, and both of us will get it. And I will laugh, and Rachel will delete it.
I will cry.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit howstuffworks.com and let us know what you think. Email travelpodcast@howstuffworks.com. Don't forget to check out our other podcasts, free on iTunes.